there's not much off the record when it comes to
No,
us. Like
no.
when we roll on like we are right now, we're just BSing back and forth. There ain't
This
no
is
off the record. This is us.
this is it.
This
We're toning it down a little, perhaps.
maybe a bit. What you
Because-
see is what you get, folks.
Yeah, because we don't want it, and not safe for children warning or something like that on our YouTube page or something like that. There might be some language, but
Yeah.
no
never that
nudity. Certainly no nudity from here.
No.
So there's
Unless you want nudity. In
yes,
which case,
if there's enough comments that ask for it, then things can be arranged.
that's right. Yeah. Hey, I'm not opposed to OnlyFans. I hear that's a great way to make a living.
Absolutely right. Head
So-
coach of Michigan will even follow you, perhaps throw you some bucks on the subscription.
I seen we need to talk about
Allegedly.
that too. That's happened
Did
since
you?
the last time we were on. But
Yes,
I
it
seen a
has.
video today. It was an Instagram or TikTok. I forget which one it was. That was Sherrone Moore and his wife walking out of wherever they were walking from. I don't know where it was.
Mhm.
He's pushing the baby carriage or whatever because apparently
I
they
saw
have 3
this.
kids. One's a newborn and just walking. And I'm like, and you look at that and you're like, I wonder what's going through her mind. Because that's a whole thing. I mean, that's got to be interesting. That's going to be interesting at supper time at night.
Yes, I gather so. Yes, yeah. Well, this is Health We Know podcast. That's Chris. I'm Brian. We are the foremost, prominent, the best, the greatest college football podcast man has ever seen. Now, is there something better in the future? Well, we don't know,
Maybe.
but there's sure some not anything better in the past or present.
No.
So
even
please share
close.
with anyone that you love or don't love, because it's good to spread things, not HIV or Ebola or prion diseases. Try not to do that.
We're
But
spread-
podcasts and college football.
We're spread for the Christmas season. We're spreading joy,
Yes.
whether she wants to or not.
That's yes, exactly. That's the kind of thing you're going to get here. So you will not see this on the, let's say, the Joel Klatt show.
No.
For
No,
example.
probably won't make that show.
No. All right. Well, again, talking college football. This is episode 17.1, I believe. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, man.
Okay. That means college football playoff has arrived. It's been a few bowl games. Watched a little bit here and there, but nothing too crazy. Playoff games, excuse me, start Friday and into Saturday. So we'll do a preview of those, and then maybe talk about some coaching moves, that kind of thing too. So, well, what do you want to start at? Do you want to get into the games? What was you? I know you had some other stuff there planned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the first thing I want to get into is that name on your shirt right there. We've not been here in about a week.
Yeah.
And the Michigan head coach, Sherrone Moore, was fired with cause, right? Per Michigan.
Correct.
For fraternizing with the local co-eds. Yeah. And so one in particular. And so I think we should start there because you're the Michigan man. And it's been a while, so you've had time to kind of look at this situation and see what, kind of get a lot of perspectives. And what's your thoughts on that, being a Michigan guy?
There's so much to unpack. Well, you can start with myself. If you watch the show over the course of this, obviously the first 16 weeks, whatever, 12 games the Michigan played, I wasn't, along with many Michigan fans, terribly excited about the hire. Like, he had no experience. He was only co-offensive coordinator, now offensive coordinator for a year. They had good offensive lines. They won the Joe Moore Award 2 years in a row. He was part of that. But he didn't instill a lot of confidence on his game day X's and O's, timeout management, fourth down decisions that really made you think, like, this is the guy. We got the right guy. Last year, he goes into the season with the worst quarterback room in the history of Division I college football. And so I guess I should be surprised he actually somehow beat Ohio State and Alabama in the bowl game, but and won 8 games. But then he's followed it up with, grabbing the number one recruited generational talent in Bryce Underwood. Obviously the NIL comes into play with that too, and then summarily had only a slightly better passing offense this year, despite a better receiver room and obviously better talent in the quarterback room and better talent at the running back position until Justice Haynes got hurt, which was a big blow to the offense, of course. But yeah, so as a guy, I liked him. Like I really did. I think he spoke well. If I had said, like, I think he would represent the school well. Like he doesn't come off as smug in press conferences. Like he's not 100% coach speak. He's not as weirdo like Jim. It's like I didn't even watch press conferences with Jim. They're just a waste of time. There's nothing there. He's obviously a great recruiter. Um, put some good offensive lines together. But it's like, again, the game day stuff was like, I don't know, this is not going to work out, I don't think. And so I heard this rumor like weeks ago about this affair with one of his staffers, and I'm like, this is just some Michigan State fan come up with some bullshit rumor or something like that, because you can't just believe everything that's on a message board or out there, right, in the ethos. But then it just started gaining more and more traction. I'm like, well, that's interesting. And then there's this like, okay, fired and arrested all within an hour. Like what the hell's going on here? So I'm trying to keep up with everything. And then of course there's just all this information that comes out about, he's following 300 OnlyFans on Instagram, and, perhaps there was other relationships he had. So then you just like to think to yourself, like, and then you see him in the getting arraigned. Like he's usually wearing a navy vest with an M on it, Michigan hat, and he's just sitting there in like white, jail clothes, just looking like frail, and like it's just it's a weird thing to think about. 3 weeks ago, he was on the sideline of the Ohio State game, excited, pumped up, trying to instill confidence, and then fast forward a couple weeks, and then we're looking at this totally different person. It's just weird, I think, in general, when you see things like that. Like it's like seeing someone in public that's a public figure. Like you go to, even if you go to like you go see a basketball game, you watch Kevin Garnett, whatever, for years and years. I saw him play in high school, and it was just weird seeing him play in high school and then see him watch him on TV. It's like those celebrity things, like they're real people as well, right? They have real feelings and they have real emotions. They have real relationships, and they're not infallible. They can do more than dribble a basketball or throw a football. But so when you see these things unfold like this, it's so disappointing. And you think like this whole last 2 years was a complete farce, a complete waste of time. And it goes along with some other scandals that they've had at the university in the last handful of years under Ward Manuel. Some simple background vetting of Moore's Instagram alone would have been like, all right, okay, we need to this ain't, what are you doing here, dude? Like this, it feels like that they just fell asleep at the wheel. There's a couple other people that they'd hired that was just like, should have been absolutely not hired. Not just for like, cause they're, they couldn't coach special teams, but because they they had some inappropriate relationships, or they're like hacking into computers and trying to steal information about co-eds and stuff like that. Like just people who should have been vetted with a simple background check, and they just did not do that. So you fall asleep the wheel enough, and then AD's squarely in the, like, you hired Juwan Howard. That was a disaster. You hired Sherrone Moore, also a disaster. Mel Pearson, the hockey coach, who sat on information that he was more than just a jerk, but and ended up having to fire him. You got lucky because the hockey coach, the interim guy, is a home run. Now you got the number one team in the country,
Dusty
but
May.
you don't really get credit for that. He gets credit for Dusty May, right?
Yep.
He did go with Dusty May, absolutely. So there's that piece of it, but you have more strikeouts than you do home runs. And eventually, you're not going to get in the Hall of Fame if you have Hall of Fame number of strikeouts to go along with fewer home runs. And, he's good about, one other thing is like, it's just a subtle thing, but it's not in this day and age, if you will. The Wi-Fi in Michigan Stadium is terrible. It's not usable, like not at all. So this has been a big thing for fans for years. Like, how this is a joke. Why can't you fix this? Upgrade this? This mum's a word. Nothing. No, nothing from the AD. So was it Luke Bryan or one big country star came in and play there this last summer, like in June, and they basically said, "Yeah, this Wi-Fi is not acceptable. You're going to need to upgrade this if we're going to do this." So only because of that did they upgrade the Wi-Fi in Michigan Stadium because
Was that
they.
Zach Bryan? It was
Yeah,
Zach
Zach
Bryan,
Bryan.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Zach Bryan.
Yep.
So I don't know the country guys. So yeah, so thanks to Zach Bryan, they have upgraded just like a simple technology thing that should have been done, perhaps a decade ago. So they hire a big search firm that's going to come in outside, look
Ugh.
inside, and look, and that's a good thing because you're not just going to you're going to find other things that are like, all right, why do we not do a background? Who's in charge here? What's going on? And so this may turn up some ugly things, but get it out there, man. If you want to be transparent, then this is the time to do it. And I mean, but the other thing is that Michigan football can come out ahead in this because whoever you get from all the names is going to be an upgrade over Sharon Moore. That's just simple. Now, it's it could be a huge upgrade or it could be like, that's an upgrade, but it will be an upgrade nonetheless. And if you have an upgrade and you have the unlimited resources, aka cash, facilities, education, everything like that, you can compete. You and I could put together, 5-win season probably with the resources that you would have there. So yeah, just disappointing.
What names? Like, what's the hot board? I mean, because it's got to be a long ass hot board. That whatever Tennessee was going through all their coaching changes there through the 2000 teens, all the way through Jones and Pruitt and everyone. Everyone kept saying every AD has a list, and they always have a list of football, basketball, hockey, wrestling, whatever you name the sport. They've got a list of coaches that if shit goes sideways, these are the guys we're calling first, and then we're going to work from there. So who's on the Michigan hot board, do you think?
Well, what I understand, and people who are insiders who know best after scouring message boards and radio and blogs for the last 30 years, I've kind of figured out who the people are and know what the hell they're talking about. And so the hottest names that seem to keep coming up are possibly long shots, but no one said no yet officially. All right. So number one is Kalen DeBoer, who has kind of an important game in a couple days.
Right.
He's a guy that coached at Indiana. He coached Eastern Michigan, which is right there near Ann Arbor. Apparently has maybe some family connection in the area. Coached at Washington, of course. So, and his GM is Courtney Morgan, who played at Michigan and is like rated one of the best GMs in the country as far as getting recruits on campus and closing deals and stuff like that. So that's a really hot name. So there's two problems with that. One, Kalen DeBoer's got a game to play in a couple days.
Yeah, he's at a pretty decent school already.
He's at and people don't leave Alabama, right? Dennis Franchione left Alabama, but that not on his term. That's the only time that happened. Like Nick Saban left because he retired. That's it.
Yeah, Mike Price got left because he was in a bar that was. Yeah.
Yes. So people don't leave Alabama for other jobs, which is why I think this is a bit of a long shot. People who know way more than I do think he's not said no. He's said all the right things to the media. I've not talked to Michigan. Well, no, you haven't, but your agent sure as hell has. I mean,
sure.
Right. Those things happen behind, that's what happens behind closed doors and secret signal text message threads.
Back channels. Keep those back channels open.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple other names. I mean, there's lots of names out there. Like, of course, John Gruden, his name's out there. He's got to be out there, right?
To every damn college coach in the country.
So stupid. Yeah. He hasn't coached in college in like 30 years. He's not coming back.
He's
going
back
62
to
years
college,
old.
folks.
No, he's not. He may go back to be like a QB coach or something like that, but like he's kind of got it made at Barstool, really. I mean, he should just do that. He's way entertaining too, by the way.
Right.
So that's not a realistic. Other options that are you throwing out there, and I don't know if they're realistic or not. They're just names like Jeff Brom at Louisville, which I feel is I think he's a good coach, but he's
Yeah,
also at his
for
alma
sure.
mater. He's home. Like Louisville has money. They got Papa John's dollars. Now they're not going to be able to compete with NIL with Michigan, but like if you feel like Louisville's your home, then why you want to upset that? So I feel like that's just a name because he's a good coach, not a realistic one. Kenny Dillingham is the other hot name, the Arizona State coach. He's put together, obviously put together some good offenses. Oregon takes Arizona State job, turns that into a really good team last year, and there's a couple losses this year because they lost quarterback Levitt. So, like, he seems to be a good offensive mind. Dan Lanning loves the guy, highly recommends him. So that's a guy who knows football. So that's a name that's also said the right things in public. Love it here is I also find him to be kind of a long shot in some ways because he's alum, he's from the area. His family is all his parents like live next door kind of thing. Like
Right.
they have all their immediate family right there. Not that means you couldn't up and move a room, but like that's their home and he's really embraced there and loved there, like so he's kind of in a really great position because again, he's maybe not talked to Michigan, although I think that best I can tell that may have been a conversation where he was involved today. But he's in a great position because one, he can so here's what the thinking is like. They can't make any move until what happens on Friday, right? The Bama
Right.
OU game, because DeBoer is not going to dump the
It's a huge
program
domino.
on
Right.
Thursday night, Friday, right? So if Boomer
He's not
Sooner
going to Lane
happens to
Kiffin,
come through,
Alabama.
no, he will not do that. No, exactly. Now, if he did, I would think Lane Kiffin might LSU to Bama.
Oh,
They
that
asked
would,
nicely.
if the college
The
football gods
dominoes.
exist, that would be fantastic. Sign
Or
me up for
Sark
that.
to Bama or whatever, and then LSU to Texas. Anyway, could get really hilarious and interesting. So we're going to know more this weekend, right? If Bama wins, then like you can't keep waiting for him because
Right.
the portal opens up on the second. You got some holes to fill, and you can't have a lame duck or no coach, an interim coach to try to fill those holes. Not to mention you've already lost a couple of recruits that signed, 2 weeks ago, so they've already signed with other teams as well. So you run the risk of more of that happening. Most kids are kind of wait and see mode right now, so that's good. One other name's been thrown out there that looks like it's not necessarily like completely eliminated, but there's some background check thing that came about is Jedd Fisch, and he's the coach at Washington.
I've heard
He's a
that one a
guy
lot.
who's
Yeah.
yeah, Jedd Fisch is a guy. He was at Michigan under Harbaugh in 2016 and 17. He's a passing game coordinator. They made Wilton Speight into a decent quarterback, which is pretty impressive. He took
Right.
a terrible 1-win Arizona team and turned them into 10 wins within 2 years, and then has done a pretty good job at Washington. Year one, they had a lot of holes, ended up winning 6 games. Not great, but they didn't look terrible on the field. They looked competent. And then this year, they had that bad loss to Wisconsin, but otherwise they lose to Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon. Those are their losses. So it's like, like those are acceptable losses when you're year two and you're trying to rebuild with things. Redshirt freshman quarterback,
Right.
so a lot of guys on the offensive line and defensive line dinged up. So I I don't know what the background thing that was like. It's not a deal breaker for like Washington or anyone, but it's like Michigan doesn't need anything in your past that's any sort of nefarious, right? Like you need a clean slate. You need Kenny Dillingham, who's 35 and just the greatest and
Right.
like super energy, that kind of thing. You don't need any more distractions. So those are the big three names: DeBoer, Dillingham, and Fisch. Jesse Minter was a name that was thrown out there a lot. He's a defensive coordinator for the Chargers. He was a D coordinator for Michigan from 22 and 23 seasons. Um, he's a younger guy. He's coached in college. He was at Vanderbilt. He coached and for the Ravens. He was a linebacker coach. He coached under, all that. He's part of that defensive system, the Amoeba defense.
Right.
So he's actually like really maybe the best at all of them, with Mike McDonald, who's the head coach at the Seattle now. So, but Mentor is like doing well enough. He may parlay this into a head NFL job here, if not this
Right.
offseason, but pretty soon. So it's not like he coming back to college is maybe his thing. He also has a show cause that they'd have to sort that piece out. So again, there's more like time to like just pull the plug on the Harbaugh era and just like let's just
start clean.
Wipe the slate clean.
Yeah.
Let's start over. We had some success there, but there's just way too much mess that's worth it. So,
Jedd Fisch makes a lot of sense considering they just beat the crap out of Boise a couple of nights ago.
Absolutely.
Right. So his deal is done, and
Mm-hmm.
you could get him in there before the portal, which we've talked about already. What a dumb window for a portal, right in the middle of playoff play. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
It's not fair to anybody. Why you can't. No, it's not. Especially schools that are like Michigan now that are kind of waiting around. If you want someone in the playoff, well, your kids may all up and leave, and you can't bring anybody in because they don't know who they're coming to play for, and that's got to be fixed. That's got to be fixed.
Yeah, but it absolutely does. Right.
I think Fisch makes probably a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Assuming DeBoer either wins Friday or loses Friday and straight out comes out with a statement. It's like, I love Alabama. I'm about Alabama football. We're excited about the future, blah, 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 blah. Says all the things and just stays. And so the fact that he hasn't come out with that yet makes you wonder, because all he has to do is make a statement as, I'm not interested in Michigan job. I'm going to be here for a long time, hopefully. And you cut that right off at the legs. And he's not done it.
He's not done it. He said a couple of like things like, my family and I, we love it here. We're content here. Those kind of things. He didn't say, I'm staying here.
Right.
I'm not in contact with Michigan. Period. I'm going to sign this extension you put on my desk now. Now, that could still happen within the next day, or like it has to be tomorrow, or probably that he could do that before the game.
Right.
Because this is becoming a distraction for that team, I'm sure. The kids watch Sports Center and all, listen to the radio and everything. Right. And they know what's going on. Like this, and this is a big game, right? Like this is a game that, you lose to Florida State. I don't know how you did that. This is our one opportunity for us to say that.
Let's bring that up. Yep.
Then you win
17
at Georgia.
times in a row.
Oh, you win at Georgia.
34 times in a row now.
Yeah, 34, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Win at Georgia. You take it on the chin, the title game, but, that's whatever. But it's just, I just have a hard time seeing that happen. But, hey, look, stranger things have happened, right? I mean, until there's an absolute turn down, no public, I'm signing this, here's the document, I signed this. It's an extension of 3 years, whatever it is, it's over. Never say never. So it's not 0%. I just find it feels like a long shot. If I had to guess, if I had to put $1 on which one would be between DeBoer and Dillingham, I'd probably say put the $1 on Dillingham. It just seems a little more likely that, because look, DeBoer is at the top of top college football, right? You can't get higher than that, right? So you don't need to see if you can do better somewhere else. Dillingham is at Arizona State, and while that's a good school, there are a level below Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama. And so if you are wanting to say, look, I can do pretty well here, but there is a ceiling, and we're unlikely to surpass that. Now, it's not impossible because they get the right donors and they get the right people in there. Texas Tech, for example, right? They have a lot of oil money that they're spending happily. It's paying off. So it's not impossible Arizona State can do that, but like you have more likelihood of that happening with more unlimited resources that you have at Michigan. So it's those guys. Fisch makes a lot of sense. I agree with you. He's an offensive mind. They need an offensive mind, a quarterback coach to help Bryce make that jump to the next level, go from freshman to sophomore and sophomore to junior.
He better feel good.
You need
he better feel good about who's
right?
coming in, considering the portal opens.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Right. And so if it's either of those three guys, any of those three guys, my guess is, and my understanding is that the Bryce's family they're good with any of those. Now, after that, who knows? I mean, like, it's that the list kind of stops after those three, because Mentor is really not a realistic at all, because he's going to be in the playoffs for a while, probably, if they continue to win like this, like for LA. So
yeah, and I agree with you. I think you, if you're at Michigan, you want someone in there as quickly as you can. And we talked about it with the Ole Miss thing that was happening with Kiffin, the same reason why he might leave Arizona State is the same reason why Kiffin left Ole Miss, is because you can only do so much at that school. NIL money might be fine, all that's fine, but there's a ceiling, and there's an obvious ceiling, and Lane Kiffin's somewhere now that can break right through that ceiling and win a national title. So who's to say?
Right.
So that's
although like it's about your quarterback play, right? I mean, you're not going to do anything without great elite quarterback play, and that's typically been exclusively at Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan, Tennessee. But we saw where money comes in, and Vanderbilt takes a kid from Georgia for the right price. Right now, the kid's a local kid, so that's part of it too. But Vanderbilt stealing a 5-star quarterback from Georgia is one of those things. If we talked 5 years ago, you'd say, no, you don't. I don't know what you're talking about, but you need to stop doing drugs. And it's still hard to believe that, but it just feels like those are the 3 biggest names. And if it comes Friday, and if Alabama wins, and Dillingham says no, and Fish is potentially eliminated or unlikely,
right?
I have no idea.
Kind of floundering then, right? Kind of floating around in the breeze.
It feels that way. Now, maybe they have a more behind the scenes that we're not seeing, but these are the names that the insider people have been leaked that information to. These are the people we're looking at, kind of thing. So I don't know what they're going to do, but this feels like an opportunity they could really blow it. And also, you don't have your athletic director is like looking not so hot like right now, and they're doing internal search of the school. You don't have a university president right now. Now, someone should be named sometime this month. So there's a bit of turmoil within the ranks of the administration. So if you're a head coach, you're like, man, I don't know if this is the right time. Like, this seems like this could be a disaster to walk into. Is this worth it? Well, hopefully that's where Dusty May comes in and says, "Oh, it's good. Come on in." I'm thinking maybe we'll just let if Dusty May could just coach some football and just hire the right coordinators, I'd be fine with that.
He seems to be pressing the right buttons for the basketball program right now. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he sure does. Right, it's like spamming them to 40-point wins and 30-point wins. So all that to say, like, I'm just kind of like wait and see. Coaching searches are kind of fun for a while, then it's like, just make a decision. Like, come on. It's only been a week now, though. So this weekend will be do or die. I think this is we're going to know Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday at the latest, I would think.
I would think they get somebody in there pretty quick.
Yeah. You can't wait. You can't wait until January.
Coaching searches are cool and fun unless you're like part of them. Like I never liked all the ones UT went through. I mean, it's cool to all the rumors and stuff. You don't know what you don't know. You don't even know what you do know. There's so much opinions and speculation, and they're tracking the airplanes going through the sky. You know,
there was an airplane that went from Willow Run, and it's outside of Detroit, to Tuscaloosa a few days ago.
Know.
So, like,
you just don't
that's
know.
not. This could be some dude that's like got business down there. He's selling vacuums or something.
It's the most.
It could be whatever.
There's a lot of useless information when it comes to coaching searches. That might be the most useless, if that's a word, that there's ever been when it comes to coaches as tracking airplane flights to here to there and everywhere. So
it is entertaining. People like really get into it. I'm like, okay, I can't. I'm not tracking flight 111 or whatever.
No.
Like, this is not. You can let me know if if you see him walking off the plane onto the tarmac. Right. Okay, then snap a picture and I'll believe you. Otherwise, it's like it's all Joe Schmo taking a trip down there because he's working or whatever. So
all right,
this is nonsense. So yeah, we'll get we'll get the answer this weekend. I think
we'll see. Good, and we'll talk about that. I mean, as soon as that breaks, we'll hop on and talk about that, because that's a humongous job opening that no one expected in the coaching carousel this year.
This is not the time of year you do this. You're a few weeks past. Now, the good news is, I guess you'd say, is Michigan's the only team right now looking for a coach. And
they could have been in the damn Shark Tank
if they
3 weeks ago.
They could throw enough money at Lane Kiffin. They could, if they gave him $100 million or whatever, that might entice him. But that's a whole nother guy. You don't need someone like that.
No.
His history on campus.
No,
when you're trying to clean house.
Take it from someone that would know. Delaney.
Yeah,
You don't
know
want him. You don't want him on your campus, running amok.
If I don't believe you, which I do, I'll ask,
Right.
a USC fan, and they'll tell me something,
Yes.
and an Ole Miss
Ask
fan
a
will tell
Raider
me something,
fan.
and ask a Raider fan, ask an Alabama fan.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Coordinator days.
So I guess the moral of the story is don't stoop the interns, right?
Yes.
That's the moral. So
don't assign them as your personal assistant and give them a 55% raise when they're making $90,000 a year.
Right. Just out of the blue. Yeah. Right. So. Good God Almighty!
That's frowned upon, right? It finally broke because who knows, whatever. Like she finally said,
there's
yes,
all kinds of
have a thing, and next it's over, right? Yeah, because they denied it initially when they were asking this question. So, but these things always come out.
We'll keep an eye. Oh yeah, there'll be more. There's always more.
There's always
the more they dig, the more they find.
Like, yes,
so
absolutely. But yeah, this is not. Story's not over. Yeah.
No, not by a long shot. So I guess the second thing I have here before we get to the games, because there's only 4 games, so we'll roll through this pretty quick. We'll do our picks, and I've got a fun game again this week. How we're going to do our picks, because we're going to put a little cheddar on the games this week. But
that's right.
One thing I wanted to quickly go over is back whenever the first playoff ranking came out, we talked about it on the show that the rankings are going to change. Coming out with the first ranking was useless. It's dumb. No one cares. It's like basketball rankings. No. They mean jack diddly when they come
Joe
out.
Joe Lunardi's doesn't mean anything right now. Stop looking at that. I don't even bother looking at that.
He's coming out with bracketology in like August. Like what's the shit, Joe? You don't know what's going to happen.
No one's even scrimmaged yet, let alone played a game.
So what I did is I've got the first playoff rankings, and then I went up beside of them, and I took the last playoff rankings, and I put them in parentheses, and then I did a plus or minus how many spots they moved. If there was a minus, for instance, Ohio State started off the year 1, they're at 2 now, so they're -1. They fell 1 spot at the end of the year. Okay.
Gotcha.
It looks a lot like the playoff. I mean, it's pretty uncanny. Indiana's +1 to 1, right? A&M started off at 7. They're at 3. They're a +4.
4. Okay.
Yep. Bammer. No, sorry. They were a -4. Yeah, A&M started off at 3. They're at 7. Sorry. They're a -4. Bammer started off at 4. They ended up at 9th, so they're -5. That's about. I mean, Ole Miss started at 6th. They're 6th, so they didn't move.
Yeah, that's nailed it. Right. Yeah.
I guess the biggest movers here that didn't make the playoff would be there's a BYU. They started at 7th. They ended at 12th, so they're -5. Texas Tech started at 8th. They ended up at 4, so they're +4. So that's a move up for Texas Tech. Yep. Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, and OU all rounded out the top 12 to start the year. OU ended at 8th, so they moved up from 12th to 8th, so they're +4.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, right? They start off 11th. Yeah, they start off 11th in the playoff. They ended up at 13th, so -2. That puts them out of the playoff. And then Notre Dame, they started off at 10th. They ended up at 11th, -1. So there's Oregon was +4 from 9th to 5th. So it looks a lot like the play. Almost.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, and because we bitched about it and said that it's useless, they pretty much got it right.
Nailed it.
Yeah, they did. The
Notre Dame fans would disagree, but they otherwise, yes, they got it.
The top 12, every team is in it except for Notre Dame and Texas and BYU. Everyone's in.
And BYU would have they just lost to Tech twice. That would
right, exactly.
If they would have won early in the year, they
they
might have been in. Yeah, absolutely.
So just for shits and giggles, Louisville started off 15th. They're unranked. Vandy started at 16th. They ended up 14th, +2 for Vandy. So not bad. Miami, they were a big jump. Miami started off at 18th. They ended up 10th, +8 for Miami. So huge jump for Miami. Yeah,
Huge
jump from Maine.
Right? Yeah,
I think +8 was probably the biggest one on here. Actually,
I would imagine.
I think they were. I don't see anything farther than 8. Beside now, well, I guess so. I mean, Louisville started 15th. They're unranked, so that's minus +10, minus
Right.
10 plus spots. So they fell right out of the top 25. So they're not even in it.
Right.
So that's but as far as moving up, big
As far
movers
as
from
positive
18.
movement, yeah.
Right. Yeah, from 18th to 10th and +8. That's a big one. Michigan was +3 from 21 to 18. So
Yeah.
not bad. Missouri, Washington, Pitt, Tennessee all started off 22, 23, 24, all of them not ranked at the end of the year. So just shows you how much movement you can have there. But
sure,
heck,
right.
man.
By and large, it was pretty right on. The teams,
two
at least, were
teams,
exactly where they were. They're pretty close.
And the two teams that are in the playoff, and we've talked about it, what a missed opportunity this Saturday, how this playoff could be lit. Tulane and James Madison. They're not even in the top 25 to begin the year or even to end it.
Or now.
And they're in because they won championships.
That's got to stop. And
yeah,
if there is some boat raced games,
there will
teams this weekend,
we'll talk about it.
That should start making things move faster to make that change.
I think it will. I mean, they already got rid of the automatic buys for the conference championships, and they got rid of those
after
immediately.
1 year. Like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah. So you can only imagine that way. We can't have this anymore. This playoff had a potential to be really, really lit on the first weekend, and it's totally ruined by two games that are just no one's. Men of God work. We're talking about it. It's only going to be you're going to watch Tulane and Ole Miss, and you're going to watch Oregon and James Madison right up until the ass whipping starts, which is probably going to be second quarter sometime, maybe early third quarter, and you're going to turn it off and watch something else. The viewership numbers will dive.
Yeah, absolutely. What they're going to do, they're going to flip it over to the Bears Packers because there's NFL games on Saturday. You can see which ones are up against NFL games they have less confidence in. They're going to be so. So that's a thing too. Well, I guess we'll get into it in a minute, but I think this, by and large, they got it pretty well, pretty right. What was Georgia's difference to start and end?
I'm back. Georgia started off 5th. They ended up at 3rd, +2.
Okay, +2. Okay.
So I
can't remember where they started at, so that makes sense. 5. Yeah, you could argue Georgia could be 2 as well, honestly.
Well, I mean, we talked about that last week too. I mean, it would have been Indiana, Georgia Tech, Ohio State, 1, 2, 3, 4 for me if I was casting a vote. Of course, I would have been the asshole, been like, "Hey, do you guys just want to change the rules? Let's just change the rules and let's
change the rules on the fly
and let in Notre Dame and let in Vandy or BYU in this playoff, and let's just let our lawyers handle the lawsuits it's going to come after because this 12 is."
How about if Vandy and BYU get a free playoff game?
Yeah.
It's like it's a last 4 in or whatever, first 4 that round of 68 games.
Oh, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Have them play on Sunday or Monday night?
Weekend? Yes.
BYU Vandy play Monday night. Winner goes to the playoff the next Saturday. You could do that.
Yes, absolutely. Hell yeah. I think we got something here.
That's awesome.
I think we got some.
Hey, more viewership, more dollar bills,
more cash, right?
That's right. All right.
Yeah, play it wherever you want. Play it in the Cheese's Bowl, whatever.
Yeah, who cares? Nobody cares about those other bowls anymore.
I'll watch.
All right. No. You want to get to games or anything else?
Yes. No, game time.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to bet on our picks here. We got Bama OU, Miami A&M, Tulane, Ole Miss, Oregon, James Madison. So we're going to draw out of the handy dandy cup. I've folded up all the games. I'm going to draw one out. And then whatever I draw out is, and last time you went first because Southern hospitality dictated that you would go first.
Okay, well,
since you went first, then I'll go first this time. Right. We'll move it around.
Okay.
So then you'll make your pick and then I'll make mine. This is money line against the spread and the over under like we usually do.
Okay.
whose ever turn that is, that's who we're going to pick, and then that's who I'm going to bet.
Let's go with
like $5 a pick, so nothing crazy.
Yeah,
$5 per 4 games. So was that 15, right? 4, 8, 12, 16 picks total. $5 a pick.
16. Okay. Yep.
2 each, and then I'll lock those in tomorrow, and then next week we'll talk about how we did or did not do. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably the latter.
So it is Hell If We Know podcast, so we'll see.
Hell if we know. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I get to start off great.
Reset.
James Madison in Oregon.
All right.
So, all right, sir, lead us off, and then
Oregon.
I will.
All right. So game we just discussed, maybe help change how the brackets are teams are picked in the future, which this is a good opportunity for Oregon to do the college football world a favor, right? And boat race James Madison.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Oregon's only favored by 21, over under 47.5. Yeah, I mean this game is played in it's a home game, obviously. It's an
It's Eugene.
Oh man. Yeah, it's Eugene. It's like so 6:30 on Saturday. It's going up against an NFL game. This won't be highly viewed, but all right. What'd you say? Am I picking this first or
yeah, you go then? I'll go second since I drew it, and then because what I pick will be the actual picks for the gambling. Yep,
gotcha. I mean, I think this is look. I do find it interesting that the total over under is 47.5 because I figure Oregon easily gets into the 30s, perhaps low 40s without breaking a sweat. Right? It does. That's why I'm taking Oregon to cover that 21.5, and that over hits by Oregon may hit the over themselves. Oregon can put up. They're playing really well this late in the season, and I think they do 100% of the heavy lifting, and they cover that 47.5. Perhaps themselves. If not, then damn close. James Madison may get a score, field goal early on, something like that. They're not going to have the horses to be able to keep up with Oregon for 4 quarters. I mean, they may, hang around the first quarter, especially if, Oregon comes out flat. I don't expect that to happen because, they want to make a point too. So, Oregon covers spread and the over hits by a long shot.
Yeah. I'm with you. I every step of the way. I can't imagine this in any universe this game being close. I just can't. So I'm with you. I'll make this pretty short and sweet. I'm going to follow your lead the whole way right here. I don't know how James Madison makes this a game, and what a shame, right? I mean, again, we've talked about it till ad nauseum at this point, but it's just true. This game would be so much more watchable if that was BYU up there playing, or if that was Diego Pavia and Vandy up there playing.
Right.
Like that would, God dang, that'd be. Now I'd still pick Oregon, but man, it made me think about it a hell of a lot more than I'm thinking about it right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So if that's Notre Dame, Oregon, I'm thinking harder about this one.
Absolutely. Yeah,
frankly,
for sure.
Because they can run the ball, and Oregon's had trouble stopping the run a little bit. So.
Yep. But then,
alas, not this year.
No, and there's nowhere James Madison's better than Oregon. Like, if you're watching tape, there's nowhere on tape at all where James Madison has an advantage in this game. There's just nowhere. And that literally predictor 88.2 to 11.8. That's way too low. This game should be 95.5 at least. At night out there, I don't understand.
Yeah. Where are they getting 12% at almost? Like
I don't know.
I guess it can't be 0, but it needs to be closer to 0 than 12
for sure.
If the entire Oregon team gets Ebola the night before the game, then perhaps that 12%. But even then,
the whole second unit could play for Oregon, and I'm taking them still. But all the same numbers. All these same numbers.
100%. Right.
All right.
Yeah, at the travel, the game time, nothing's
It's
going to line up
nothing
well
adds up. All
for
right.
them. Nope.
All right, moving on here. Next game.
Game 2. What's the next one?
Game
Mm-hmm.
2. Oh man, you want a good one, Delaney. Miami and A&M.
Yeah. All right.
So now this one is not
I
going to be
want
so
that.
easy to pick.
No, I agree. So let's hit the numbers. This is the 11 o'clock or noon Eastern game on
Yep.
Saturday. Playing in the College Station. A&M's favored by 4, or well, I'm sorry, 3.5. Looks like opened at 4. That's why I read it. So favorite's
Yeah, it's
3.5.
four.
Over under 48.5. Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah. Now it's
it says it's
open at
open
4.
at
It's
4, but
3.5. Yeah.
whatever you have, I guess. Well, we should
Yeah.
probably go with whatever it is now. We'll see
Yeah.
what the
That's for sure. That's what I'll
updated
lock
one
in
is.
tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. If I knew which Carson Beck I was going to get would very, very, very much influence who I would take in this game. I'm gonna say we get good Carson Beck. And what have we said all year? Miami has the roster to win the whole thing, and they do. They have the roster. What Carson Beck do you get? What I think the college football guy, now this is foreshadowing a little bit, and it may not come true, and I'm sure I'll get hammered in the comments, which I look forward to as well. But I could see the college football gods putting Carson Beck and this Miami team on the same field as Georgia in the semifinals in a few weeks in like middle of January. I just could see it.
Would they not
It
like
feels that way. The Georgia fans I talked to pray to the football gods that happens. They want to see that game too. And
sure.
I want to see it too. I do, selfishly.
That's must-see
So,
TV. Yeah.
yes. So I'm going to take Miami in the money line on this. Very, very, yeah. I'm going to take them in the money line. So, of course, they cover the 3.5. The over under 48.5.
Right. Okay.
In College Station at noon. If this game was at night in College Station, I probably wouldn't pick Miami to win it because the difference in the atmosphere is quote unquote, night and day. But
right, yeah.
I'm gonna take the under because I think it gets played. I think one team gets in the high 20s and the other team gets in the low 20s. So that puts it right there at that 48.5. So I'm gonna take the under, but I'm gonna take Miami to win. Of course, they cover that. And I'm going to take the under in this one as well. So Miami, of course, wins. So they cover 3.5, and then the under at 48. I got it 48.5. What is it now? Is it still 48.5? So yeah,
it's
okay.
It's 48.5. Yeah. It opened at 52.5. Yeah.
I just really like this Miami team, dude. I think they're playing really well, and the way Texas A&M ended the year with Texas, I think the defense can get got, and if you get good Carson Beck, they will win this game. They will score. They win this. The defensive ends for Miami are second to nobody. They'll get after Reed, make him throw some interceptions, which Reed is prone to do. And it's important if Miami gets up early and takes the crowd out. I think they really have a great shot then. And it just something tells me something tells me that Georgia and Carson Beck are going to be in front of each other at some point in this playoff, just because that's what the universe says needs to happen. So that's me. What you got?
All right. Well, funny enough, I'm gonna copy you because look, we've talked all year about A&M and how good they are on both sides of the ball, especially offensively, how explosive they are. We saw them, go up to South Bend and win a tough game up there. But what does A&M usually do? They usually come back to earth at some point during the season. Now, it took longer this season, but they came back to earth against Texas there in the end. And I wonder if a young quarterback and a a program that's not used to winning like this, they're not used to this. Not that Miami has been, world beaters for the last 20 years or anything, but you got a senior quarterback in Beck right? Like he's been in these games. He's not going to be intimidated to play like some other
Nope.
guys would. Not that saying that uh A&M's kids are not going to, they'll be fine.
Reed.
But like,
Right.
I agree with you. Yeah, Reed, thank you. I agree that Beck is the difference, and I also anticipate you'll get good Beck. Uh, that'll be enough. So again, obviously Miami. I'm going to say, I think I'm going to go with the under as well, but I'm going to go with, I got like a 27-21. So just by the hook, it's under. So yeah, I just don't see how either team just, unless there's some barrage of turnovers and pick sixes and stuff like that. I just don't see either team getting, high in the 30s or something like that to really put it over the top. It'd be close. I
No,
think it's a good over under, but I'm gonna
that's
hit
a heck of
just
an
barely
over
under.
under. Yeah, for sure. I
Hmm.
the James Madison Oregon one was 40. It was 47. I thought that was low. I think this one is
Yes.
spot on. Whoever made this one nailed it.
Yes.
Whoever did the James Madison Oregon one was like,
Yes.
I don't know what they were, but yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. What are we gonna see here? I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, all right. Next game. So this will be mine, but you'll go first. And we're going
Okay.
to say, ooh, woo, Bama, OU,
All
Friday
right.
night.
Well, let me just start by saying, well, I guess so. This is the Friday night game, the 8 Eastern game, um, on the ABCs. Right now, Alabama has swung to a 1.5 point dog. They opened at a 1.5 point favorite. Now OU's favored by 1.5. So that swing is interesting. Over under opened up at 41.5. Now it's down to 39.5. I'm just going to start. I'm going to say it two ways. First of all, for selfish reasons, Boomer Sooner, just to see if Kalen DeBoer is possibly available. What do I think is going to happen? All right. Well, so Alabama, Oklahoma wins that game early in the season. That's one of the better wins, as far as I'm concerned, in this year's college football. I just don't. That's so hard to beat a team, a second time like that, especially when they both are really well coached. My only thing is like which quarterback's going to make the least amount of mistakes and make some plays. Like Ty Simpson's been good for a good chunk of the year, but like man, their offense sputtered really. I mean, of course that's against a incredible Georgia defense too. Oklahoma just kind of does enough to get by offensively. Um,
Right.
and that's another over under. It's
39 and a half. That tells
I'm
you
gonna
what you need to know what they think as far as
39.
points goes.
Exactly right. That's like what 20, 20 to 20, 20 to 17, something like that, like, which is probably not that crazy.
No, I don't think so either.
It is a little low, I think, maybe because both teams will be able to put some points on the board, I think. Well, I'm really hemming and hawing here. The flip of the spread is really interesting.
Well, and I
Um,
don't know if this will sway you much, but there are reports out there and rumors swirling about Ty Simpson's back. I don't know if you've heard this, but there's
okay,
a lot of news out there on
I
his
have
back as
not.
far as him playing, not playing, whatever, being mobile.
Okay,
His back apparently is jacked up, and so they're really not sure.
okay,
So that may explain the whole 3 point shift from OU
that makes
minus
more
one and a
sense.
half or plus 1.5 all the way to Bama minus 1.5. I mean, a
Right,
humongous swing over to the other
right.
side. If
That
that seems there seems to be fire where there's smoke coming, so that's kind of out there.
well, they're usually, if let's say he's not completely debilitated, but there is some truth to that, right? They had a hard time staying with Oklahoma, they could beat Oklahoma with a healthy Ty Simpson. Do you think that they're going to go to Norman with a less than 100% quarterback with that OU defense coming at him again? I'm going to go with Oklahoma wins this game. Partly because of that, I just feel like that if Simpson's not 100%, that's going to be a problem for them. Yeah, I'm gonna say the over hits. It's gonna be 20. Well, so actually, the 23-17 is what I'm gonna go with. So the over hits by a half.
Okay. And do they cover the 1.5?
Yes,
2017.
Yep.
So yeah, they'll
Oklahoma.
cover.
Yep, 23-17. Yep,
Yeah,
2017. Yep.
23-17. Yeah. I was going to take OU all the way up until this line moved like that. And then the reports were kind of starting to surface of he's not doing well with his back. He may not even play. That's up in the air, which Vegas knows. I don't think for a second those guys out in the desert don't have
Well, yeah,
contacts in every single
everywhere.
program and just trainers or whatever that let them in on shit that's happening. So don't it swinging a whole 3 points, which is a huge swing when it comes to gambling. That's a big
That's
swing
huge.
going from a 1.5 point dog to a 1.5 point favorite. Because when the
Yes.
game was announced, that ain't changed. you know, Friday
No, right.
night in Norman, Oklahoma, they came out with that. And when the playoffs were announced, that
Yes.
was announced, and the OU came out as a 1.5 point dog. And as this game got closer, it swung a whole 3 points to them being a favorite at home by 1-3. So something's going on, something's happening. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. If Ty Simpson plays, I don't know how. We already seen what Georgia did to him, right? They couldn't move the ball against Georgia. You're telling, and Georgia's got to do
Right.
good defense, but this is Norman, Oklahoma, at home at night in the playoff. You're going to move the ball consistently. I'm with you. I don't see it at all.
That seems
It's about
unlikely.
as close as it can get right there, isn't it? 49.1 to 50.9. That doesn't get much closer than that.
Right.
But
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
If this game really tilts if it gets close to Friday night and they announce Ty Simpson is unable to go in warmups or something like that, then it's curtains. This game's over.
Yes, it's over.
Right.
Yep.
For all intents and purposes,
killing the
it's
board of
done.
Michigan on Saturday.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to follow your lead. I think OU wins it, and I think they win it. I think I'm with you on the over too. I mean, 39.5 is so low. It's so low.
It's so low, right? Yeah.
And the only thing that gives me pause is for OU to win in Alabama, they had to have a pick six, a special teams turnover, a lot of bounces had to go their way, and just stuff had to go right for them to get out of there with a win. I don't know.
Right.
Does that happen twice? Does it happen 2 times the same team in the same year? It's hard.
It seems unlikely.
Yes, it does, but I don't think they're going to need it if Simpson. Now, the thing is, Alabama scares the shit out of you. Alabama's one that offense has weapons. If they catch fire, they could be in the national championship game playing. So
absolutely,
that could absolutely
Bernard
happen.
And Williams and Jam Miller gets playing.
If they if they get going, they could absolutely be in the playoff in Miami and in the national championship game playing at the end of the year. That could easily happen. I just don't see it. I think it ends here. I think they are what they are on offense. And I think Oklahoma can do to them what Georgia did to them. And being at home at night playoff, I think Mateer makes some plays, and I thought I'm with you. So I'm gonna go Oklahoma win. I'm gonna take the over as well. I'm gonna follow your lead on that. And OU covers. OU wins outright, covers, and I like the over as well. So
yeah, this might end up looking like an Iowa Nebraska 16-13 kind of game too.
Yeah.
If both defenses are playing, if both offenses are slugging, sludging along.
If Ty Simpson winds up not going, I would immediately, if I could, change my bet to the under. Immediately change it to the under. Because I don't think Alabama gets north of 10, 12 points at that point, 10, 13 points.
12, right.
And OU gets to 20 and the under hits by a long shot. So that's what I'm afraid. That's what I'm afraid of, but we'll see. All right. Last one. You don't have to be a rocket surgeon to know this one. Tulane and Ole Miss.
Yes, indeed. Tulane, Ole Miss, the Green Wave, traveling to Oxford. And well, this is also game 2 of let's play. Let's put it up against an NFL game because we don't think as many people are going to watch this game. It's going to be 3:30 Eastern time on Saturday. Ole Miss with a brand new coach. That's
one Pete Golding.
That's interesting. I mean, like that's the only thing that would be like, well, how are they going to look with new coach? And I, of course, Tulane's going to have their own new coach too.
Right.
17.5. Ole Miss is favored by, which went up a little bit. The favorite or the over/under stuck at 56.5 as of right now.
So this is your game to pick, so I'll go first. And then we'll make this one pretty quick too. I mean, we're an hour in, so and I think we've already seen this movie once, right? They lost by like 4 touchdowns. They played in Oxford earlier in the year. There's more on the line. Now, the Lane Kiffin was part of that game. He's not part of this one. But Charlie Weiss was part of that game. He is also a part of this one. And the Tulane defense just isn't very good. They're not very physical. Lacey's going to have a big game for Ole Miss. Tulane offense is really good. Now, back when they played in week 2 or 3, whenever it was, I said that's a low-key, really good game.
Let's look at that.
And it wound up not being a low-key, really good game. Ole Miss kind of rolled in that one. What was it? Yeah, 45-10.
45-10. 45-10, yeah.
So how? I mean, is Lane Kiffin really going to mean that many points to Ole Miss? I don't think so this game. I think they'll miss Lane Kiffin after this game when they get to play Georgia if they win.
Yes.
That's when they'll miss Lane Kiffin. I don't think they'll miss him. I think me and you could call ball plays for Ole Miss and score 35, 40 points in this game against Tulane. I just don't think I don't think they're physically and athletically good enough to stop Chambliss and Lacey and those guys. I just don't.
So as Chambliss is playing, is that confirmed? Because there was he was on the fence whether he's going to play or not because I don't know if he's considering getting the portal or whatever. But even if he doesn't and Simmons plays, I'm not changing my pick overall. I don't think. Nothing. Right? Exactly.
I can't imagine. He doesn't strike me as a kid that would bounce on the team for a chance to play for a national championship. That would surprise me if he didn't. But who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe. But I'm still going to take Ole Miss to win. Obviously, to cover. Obviously, the 56 is a lot of points. I mean, they didn't even cover that last game with Lane Kiffin. So I don't know how they cover it now without him. So I'm going to take the under on this. And I think it's a lot. I think it's the same story, different day. 38 to 14, 40 to 14, something like that. It's going to be a lot to a little bit. This is going to be a game that you watch until it gets out of hand, then you turn it over to an NFL game if you're a college football fan. So I think this is a drama-free game. I think for Tulane to have a shot, they need turnovers, lots of them, and they need to get up early to get confidence going. And kind of the weird factor there is, well, I'll tell you, there's a couple things that are weird about this game. If you look at the lines, one is they won 45-10 already by 35 points. The line's only 17.5. The over/under is 56, and they didn't even get there when they were fully healthy with Lane Kiffin. So, what the hell are these guys in the desert looking at? You couldn't even get over 50.
That's weird.
You couldn't get over 55 with a fully healthy Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin's coaching, and they're rolling. And you're going to all of a sudden break that. I don't see it. I mean, unless they think Tulane's will score more points this time because they're better, maybe they will. But I still think it's the Ole Miss defense. While they're not good, is still plenty physical enough and athletic enough to take care of the Tulane offense. So, but I am going to go the under. 40 to 14. 41-14, something like that. It's going to be just under, but there's a lot of points, but I think they're mostly scored by Ole Miss.
Yep. I like it. Yeah, I mean, that'd be hard pressed to go against what you're saying. I'm gonna make this quick. I got Ole Miss 38-17, so they cover, and the under just hits 2 because Ole Miss is gonna just put it in cruise control and save some energy for the next week when they got to take on someone a little heavier weighted.
Right.
Than Tulane, so so they may not be worried about covering that spread and stuff as much as I think. Let's just win this game, look good, come out healthy, and let's get ready for the next week. And that may very well lead to that would be the way that Tulane could cover that 17.5. That's the only way, because if they're going to play 4 quarters, balls to the wall, they ain't going to come in within 30 points. Probably.
Right. Yeah, I could see the people that take the like ourselves are going to take the 17.5, the plus the minus 17.5. I could see us getting kind of a little bit of a pucker factor in the fourth quarter when it's 35-20 or 30, maybe 38-20, and Tulane has the ball in the fourth quarter, and with a chance to kick a field goal or score a touchdown and backdoor us. That's how that would happen. Right, exactly. That's where it gets
precisely right.
Yeah. So
yes, not the actual. If they played 8 quarters, it wouldn't change anything. It's just this particular number that everyone knows, including the players and coaches in Vegas and boosters and everyone else.
And that's clearly that's squarely on the table. 38-20, late fourth quarter.
Sure.
And Tulane's got the ball against the Ole Miss second and third teamers and score a wasteful ass touchdown in the last minute or two to beat us on that 17.5.
Right.
That is easily on the table. So
that's absolutely, mark this, because this is where that may end up at. I'm gonna still stick with our pick, but because you don't want to go back, you double get second guess yourself. This may be one we look back like, well, we should have this time maybe.
Yep. Yep,
all right.
Sure.
That concludes the college football playoff preview. Of course, we'll be back on over the weekend, first of the week, to recap the games, and then we'll either have another show or same show to look at the games coming up.
Yeah. Well, so next week we'll recap, and then the following week we'll do a preview of the New Year's Day shows or the New Year's Day games, which is going to be those New Year's Day games are going to be lit. Those second round games are going to be a lot of fun.
Now we're talking. Right.
Now we're getting this. Stuff.
New Year's Eve, Ohio State. Whomever, Ohio State, Miami, perhaps. That's what we're guessing.
Boy.
Georgia, Ole Miss. We're going with likelihood. Texas Tech, Oregon, and then Indiana. That's a coin toss. We both are picking Oklahoma, but Alabama winning wouldn't be surprised. Either way, that's going to be a lot of red in the stadium.
Yep, and the best setting in college football.
Absolutely, it's the best setting, right there, San Gabriel Mountains at 4 p.m. Eastern. Yes, love it. All right, we hit everything important. We hit an hour, which is what we always do, and well, I guess that's it. That's all, folks. This is Health We Know Podcast. That is Chris. I am Brian, and we are the foremost experts on all college football, especially betting. Just follow our lead.
We'll see.
You'll make a lot of money. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.